Look at this.
Mommy, you back.
So my hair is literally absolutely crazy right now because I'm going to get my hair done. And I'm literally so excited for this. I've been contemplating doing this for a while now. So I'm so excited because it's finally time. And ew, I don't know why I did that. So anyways, I'm 13 minutes away, and of course I had to bring a Raymond, his favorite drink. I brought myself one too. I've been drinking it, but low-key I think I need to chill off of it because I haven't ate, so I'm kind of like jittery. It's like 8:40 in the morning, and I'm over here like rack city bitch, rack city bitch, 10, 20. Okay, so I just got here and I didn't find a spot like nearby, so I'm literally gonna have to walk with like a lot of things, if that makes sense. I'm not, without giving it away, I'm gonna walk out with a lot of things. And literally, I don't have a purse. I need to buy a purse. So this next clip is gonna be me buying a purse. Nah, I'm just kidding.
My appetite, don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind.
That's it, dude.
No one can
I don't even know what to say after that. That's it.
Baby, you give me ice and fire.
Okay, can you go in the room? I'm gonna. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'm gonna surprise Nathaniel with my hair. And Billie Eilish, don't fucking tell them that I'm suppressed. Just kidding with this hair. Who can be depressed? Okay, anyways, I'm just kidding. So this is my hair. You guys must have watched the snip clip, those like sneak peek clips already. So we're gonna show him my hair. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, look at this.
Mommy, you back.
Wow. No way.
What's going on?
Nuh-uh. Down. You see? Damn.
What do you think?
It looks good. I like it.
Looks good?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it though?
No, yeah, it looks nice.
Why did you have that reaction then?
Like how?
You're like, damn.
Like, cause I didn't expect it to be like that.
Like what, like this long?
Yeah, but it's nice though. I like it. I like that shit.
Don't it back.
Hey.
Do you like the hair?
I know.
Does it look prettier? Like,
Well, yeah, it looks sexy, but.
yeah. And I asked him like, could you still pull my hair?
That's great.
This is dope. I like it.
It's so cute, huh?
Yeah. Were you nervous when you were getting it done?
Kind of. Not like nervous, because like he always does a really good job. Just like kind of like, oh, like is it gonna be too much hair? But honestly, I feel like it's a perfect amount of hair. Okay, so now that I finally disclosed to you guys the new hair look, I wanted to give you guys a quick little story time on the just kidding, I know what I'm gonna do. Of how I gave birth, like my labor and delivery story time. So basically, if some of you don't know, I got pregnant super young at the age of 15, and I had my daughter in April 27th of 2020, so I was like 16 years old, gonna turn 17 that year. And basically I had Adeline in the midst of COVID. So if you guys knew, basically if you were pregnant, like I'm giving birth around like March, April, you were the beginning of COVID. So you didn't have to wear a mask necessarily, but there were already like limitations on like doctor's offices, like things like that. Like there couldn't be like more than like you basically had to go by yourself everywhere. Like if you were over the age of 16, you couldn't go with your parents to the doctors, like, you know, things like that. And so they started changing it on me. And for doctor's appointments, Nathaniel couldn't be there. They had to check my temperature and everything like that, like towards the end of my pregnancy, because I was due May 4th, and Adeline came a little early. So basically you guys get the whole time frame. I take these retainers off, but basically during this time, the regulations that were put in place for us, at least, were that we couldn't, my mom couldn't go in. Well, she could have. I only could choose one person to go with me at the time inside to give birth. I think usually it's like 3 people can watch you give birth, which sounds like a crazy amount of people. I personally would not want that much people there watching me give birth. But anyways, that's basically it. So for my limitations were, I don't have to wear a mask while giving birth, because I know some people have to, so I didn't have to wear a mask. I can only have another person in the room with me while giving birth, and I can only stay like we couldn't be going back and forth, like, if that makes sense. Like he couldn't leave and come back, like that wasn't a thing. Like you weren't allowed to keep doing that. Like it was just kind of like, sir, you've already came and come back like once, like go to your car and that's it. So I'm giving you guys backstories to all of this, but my family was super strict, of course. Like it didn't matter if I got pregnant. It was kind of like they still weren't okay with like Nathaniel coming over, or like Nathaniel sleeping over. Like it was like none of that. Like it was still kind of like fairly new to them. Like what are we like, you know, what is this, like what do we do? Like that was basically like their like reaction to it all. So like Nathaniel would never really go over. We never really hung out. Like it was rare. The rest of my pregnancy, because of COVID and stuff, his family was super strict on it. Of course, all our families were. And we just really never visited each other like at the end of my pregnancy. Like it was very rare. So I asked my mom on a random day, I was like, hey, can he please sleep over? In 1 week, Adeline's literally gonna be born. Like, can he, oh, I didn't do my eyebrows. It's okay. I was like, so can he please sleep over? My mom was very like, oh, I don't know. Let me ask Jason, which is my stepdad, right? She's like, I don't know, I have to ask. I don't know, I don't think that's right, blah blah blah. Like she was against it 100%. She didn't want him to sleep over. Just kind of like when the baby's here, he could come. That was very like her thought on it. Whatever, I don't know what changed in her, but she said okay that day. Like he was allowed to come sleep over. So this is the first time we've ever slept together, right? And we were just sitting there, like we're laying there. I don't have a TV in my room, so we were watching like literally we're watching like Netflix or like YouTube on our on the, what is it called, on a Chromebook on a laptop. And out of nowhere, we're about to head to sleep. It was like 12 o'clock, and I started getting like the worst pain in my stomach. I'm like, oh my god, like it kind of felt like a period cramp. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is Braxton Hicks. So Braxton Hicks is like kind of like contractions, but like a little less harsh. And these are kind of like pre-contractions, like getting you ready for birth. And I thought that's what it was, and I was just like, okay, maybe it's that. Like, you know, like shit, like this is pretty strong. Like, oh my god, like I'm not even gonna be able to, like, you know, give birth. So anyways, I'm kind of going through like pain, and I'm like, oh my god, like this hurts so bad. I'm not trying to make a big fuss because I'm super embarrassed that I'm pregnant. So like my entire pregnancy, I couldn't even say I'm pregnant. I couldn't say that, or my baby, or like I want this. Like I was very embarrassed, very embarrassed. Like I wouldn't talk about being pregnant, even though I had a big ass belly. I wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't expect no special treatments. Like, oh, my stomach, like I wouldn't touch my stomach in front of anybody, my mom, like all of us. Like I made it known, like I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Like my stepdad would be like, okay, well we have to talk about it. Like what are you guys planning on doing? I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And like when we started choosing names and stuff, I wasn't like, oh, so happy, like I'm gonna choose the name Adeline. No, I was very like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So like I said, I was very embarrassed. So I did not want to tell my mom that my stomach was hurting because I did not want to hear like, well, duh. I guess you could say I'm stubborn. That sounds very stubborn. So I kept going through pain, I keep going through pain, keep pushing through, until finally it gets really bad to the point where I have to stand up. I'm like, okay, let me get off this bed. Like, let me assess what is freaking happening. Like, why does this hurt so freaking bad? Like, I never cry about pain. I don't really take Tylenol. I'm not that type of person. So this pain was literally the worst ever. So I ended up telling Nathaniel, I'm like, okay, like who should we call? Like, you know, like who can we talk to? Like I said, very embarrassed to tell my mom. Even though my mom's not very like judgy, I don't know why it was like that. Yeah, so I don't know why I did that. Anyways, so I end up like, okay, this pain is too much. I tell my mom, and I'm like, mom, like I go to her room and I'm like mom, can you come here? Because I'm embarrassed in front of my stepdad. My mom comes to the room and I'm like, my stomach hurts really bad. I whispered, I was like, my stomach hurts really bad, mom. And she's like really bad? I'm like, yes. And I start crying because like it just kind of like it just dawned on me, my stomach hurts. Like, am I really gonna go into labor right now? And I'm like, it hurts, mom. And she looks at me and she's like, okay, well, do you have your papers and stuff ready? Because like you have to have like this paper thing signed. I mean, you don't necessarily, you could do it at the hospital, but like my doctor told me to take it, so I had that paper with me. I was like, yes. And she's like, okay, well, go, we gotta go, like hurry, let's go. So like I'm like, oh, like I know, I'm okay. And she's like, you're saying it hurts, let's go. And I'm like, no, like, and I remember I keep telling her like, no, I was embarrassed, like, no, like that's not happening, like there's no way. Anyways, so my sister ends up coming out of her room while we're all talking because she can just hear like, and my sister comes out, she's like, what's happening? And then I was like if she sees me crying, she's like, is Vero gonna have the baby? And I was like, no, don't say that, I'm not having no baby, the fuck, I'm not even pregnant, shit. Just kidding. So yeah, my sister ends up asking me that, and I'm just like, oh my god, like it just starts becoming more real. Nathaniel had literally no bags packed. I literally would tell him like, hey, leave your bag, like pack yourself a bag and leave it at my house, and when anything happens, like I'll grab all 3 bags and we'll go. Versus like him having stuff over there, like it was just too much. And he never did it. He never packed a bag. So I already had my bag packed, I had my baby's bag packed, and I was like, let's go. We went to the hospital. We got there. The hospital was like a 6-minute drive. We got there, they start getting a little worse while we're driving, and we get there and my mom's like, I'm like, well, where did we go through? We didn't go through the emergency room. I didn't want to go through the emergency room because yet again COVID was happening, and I'm like, I'm not trying to catch COVID. I do not want to go to the emergency room. And my mom was like, that's true, like why would you go through the emergency room? Like, you know, like would you go through the labor and delivery room? She's like, I haven't done this in a while, like I don't know. And I'm like, oh, like I don't know, like I don't remember what like the doctor told me. I think this next appointment was supposed to be that, but my appointment hadn't came yet because I was still a week away from my due date. Okay, so then my mom goes into the emergency room and she tells them, and the security guard's like, oh, she can come through here and go to this and this level in this room, like, you know, like right here. And my mom's like, okay, sounds good. So my mom comes back out and she tells me like, okay, so blah 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 blah, like you guys can go inside and this is that. She's like, I'll walk with you guys. And I'm like, okay. So my mom's walking with us, and my mom is a huge crybaby. She's very sentimental, very emotional, just like me. And I'm like walking in there, and it's me and Nathaniel, and like I had already said, because we already knew there's only gonna be one person allowed in there, and I had already told my mom like, hey, like obviously it's gonna be me and Nathaniel, like this is our kid. Like my mom was very supportive about that too. She's like, oh no, yeah, he has to be there, you know. And then I get there and the lady's like, can I get your name? And I'm like, oh, like I couldn't even be talking. I was like, you tell her. And I'm like, like it's just a horrible feeling. Like we get into the triage, they check me out, and I'm literally 1 centimeter dilated. So those of you who don't know, you have to be 10 centimeters dilated in order to be pushing. I was 1 centimeter dilated, and I'm like, all this pain for 1 centimeter? Like, no way. These women don't know what they're checking. Like, no. So I was like, I obviously didn't say that, but I was like, dude, like, this hurts. Like, why does this hurt so bad? I ended up calling my OB. My OB, coolest lady ever. They call her and they're like, hey, like, we have your patient here. She's 1 centimeter dilated. Like, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to keep her here? Do you want us to monitor here? Because she says she's going through a lot of pain. Like, what do you want us to do? And so my OB tells them, keep her there for another hour, monitor her, and just make sure she's okay. She's like, don't send her home. If she goes up if she goes up to 4 centimeters, keep her here. If she does not, get her ready to go. And that was like, she's like, but check on her in an hour. Okay, so then they're like, we're gonna check on you in an hour, like, blah blah. And I'm like, okay, like, and she's like, do you need anything for the pain? And I was like, you know what, actually, can I get like some Tylenol or something? So they gave me some Tylenol, and I'm like, okay, like, this is all gonna be better. Like, I'm gonna be okay. And while you're hooked up onto machines, they have like something monitoring the baby's heart on your stomach that goes wrapped around you. They have like something on your arm. I don't really remember. I like is monitoring your heartbeat. So you're kind of plugged into like a good amount of things. And basically, like, I started needing to go restroom, like, number 2, and I'm like, no way. I was always deathly afraid of literally shitting myself while giving birth. I was so afraid of that, and I'm like, no, no way, and no way. So I was like, okay, I need to go restroom. The nurses came and hooked me and went to the restroom. I come back and I'm like, oh, I'm still feeling it, and I'm like, oh, it starts like TMI, but the feeling starts feeling like pressure in the rectal area. Like, it just starts feeling like pressure, and I'm like, oh my god, why is this feeling like this? It's getting a lot worse. And I'm like, dude, this pain is literally a no freaking joke. So it's happening again. I asked them, like, can I go restroom? They let me go to the restroom, and every time I'm going to the restroom, I can't go restroom. It's like, I don't need to go restroom, but I feel it, like I need to, but I'm not. I'm sitting there and I'm like I don't need to go restroom. Lady comes in to check me, and I'm 2 centimeters dilated. I'm not enough to stay. So the girl tells me, you know what, you might come back tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Like, you know, you should be good to go. Like, this is snap. Keep in mind, there was nobody in the triage, like, at all. Because when we got there, all the things were open and there was nobody in there. They tell me, like, we're gonna start signing your discharge papers, like, you know, like, get ready to go, basically. And I'm like, am I really this much of a wuss? Like, I can't handle this. Like, they're really gonna send me home? Like, oh my god, like, I've been over exaggerating it this entire time. I start feeling like shit. I start feeling embarrassed, most of all. Like, this is so embarrassing. Like, oh my god, whatever, this is so embarrassing. So Nathaniel tells his mom. I text my mom, like, hey, we're going home. Like, mom's like, okay, good, I'm outside. And we start, like, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, dude, like, I still don't feel good. Out of nowhere, the worst pain ever just hits. It hits the worst pain, and I'm already, there's bars, so I grab onto a bar and I have my head down, and I'm like, oh my god, like, why? Like, it's hurting so bad. And I'm like, tell them, please, like, tell them right now that it's hurting me this bad. And he's like, oh, so like, Nathaniel goes and tells them, and then they're like, there's nothing we can do about it, like, you know, like, there's nothing at all. And I'm just like, oh my god, 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 it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. And I'm like, please give me something stronger, like, check me, please. And they're like, we can't do anything. All we can do is keep you here for another 30 minutes, but we can give you, like, I think it's like something, but they put it right here. I want to say it's like an IV. I don't know what the heck it was, but they're like, that's the only thing we can do to you, for you right now. And I'm like, this hurts really bad. So whatever they're doing, they're about to get that set up. They like put a request to get that in. That's what she said. We put in a request. So I guess they put that request, and I'm sitting there like, dude, this pain is unbelievable. Like, this pain is no freaking joke. Literally could not stand it anymore. I start like actually screaming. I didn't think I'd ever get to that point, but I was like, oh my god, like, somebody help me. And the ladies come in and they think I'm over exaggerating until I tell them again, like, I need to go restroom. And the lady's like, okay. She picks like the thing off me, and as soon as I stand up, I literally, my water broke. Like, my water broke. I bled everywhere, like a insane amount. When I would like watch videos and stuff like that, because I always watched YouTube before because I was so afraid, I was told it looked like water. My mom even said it looked like water. Mine was like a lot of blood. So I was like, is she okay? Like, is my kid okay? Like, I remember saying, and like, I got embarrassed and I was like, kid okay? Like, I was like, I didn't know if I was okay to like like ask questions like that because I was so embarrassed. So whatever, what I keep saying so whatever. So basically, as soon as my water breaks, they're like, okay, lay back down, like let's check like how much centimeters you're dilated. They check me. I'm already at 10. I'm already at 10. And that's within an hour and a half maybe. I was already at 10 centimeters. The lady's just like, oh my gosh, like your baby's head, I can literally see your baby's hair. And I'm like, girl, I fucking told you. I was like, I was so scared, like, oh my god, like this is not okay. So they're like, okay, somebody call her doctor. They're calling my doctor. They asked me to sit in a wheelchair and I can't sit on it. I'm like literally like this, like this, like I couldn't sit down. And I'm like, I can't sit down. She's like, okay, just hold on. So they're just like pushing me on this wheelchair. I get to the room and I'm telling the lady like, I need to go restroom. And she's just like looking at me like, bitch, like just like, and I'm like, I really need to go restroom. Like I was afraid of pooping myself while going restroom, especially in front of Nathaniel. Like we weren't really like, not comfortable, but like we were kids, you know. So she was like, okay. So she sits me down on the toilet and I'm like pushing, thinking I'm going restroom, but I'm actually pushing Adeline out. And the lady comes to the room, she's like, stop pushing, like who put her on this toilet? Who put her on this toilet? And I'm like sitting there like pushing, and they're like, stop pushing, get up. And I'm like, I can't get up. I'm like literally looking around like, I can't, like I can't. And she's like looking at me like, no, get up, everybody get her up. So two ladies get on me and Nathaniel is just like kind of like staying away, like, well, I don't even know what to do. So they get me up, they put me on the bed, and there's no doctor in there, and I just start pushing. And they're like, no, like you gotta wait till you have a contraction. And I'm like, no, it hurts. I'm going, like I'm pushing this kid out. Like I do not care. This kid is coming out now, because it was unbelievable. Like this like feeling was hard. Like it hurt so horrible. And whatever, I keep saying and whatever. Seriously, Veronica, take a shot for every time I say and whatever. So anyways, we're all fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, I'm sitting there, I'm pushing, there's no doctor inside. They're like, stop, we don't have a doctor, like stop pushing. And I'm like, I can't, like this hurts. Like I'm not even trying to push, but just like my body is doing it, because like I was just trying to get the kid out. Like my body was just ready to get Adeline out. And so basically the lady's like, the lady in there, I think the main one, she looks at me and she's just like, if you're ready to push. And I was like, yes, I'm ready. I've been ready to push. Yeah. So anyways, I was like, yeah, like I'm pushing. I'm on like yeah, I'm definitely pushing. So I basically started pushing, and Nathaniel was like right there next to me. They asked him to hold one of my legs. I'm pushing until I feel, and they call this the ring of fire. I mean, do they call this the ring of fire? I've heard that term before. Basically when your kid's head's right there, and that's like the biggest part of them. So, or the shoulders, I don't remember, but it's called the ring of fire. And I felt fire, like literally fire. And as soon as I felt that fire, the doctor was walking in, and I remember just being like, and they're like, no, like you can't stop right here, you will tear if you stop right here, like you will tear, you need to push. And I just remember just being like, giving it my all, like pushed her out. And like, yeah, I pushed her out within like probably maybe like 5 pushes. And she came out, and the doctor was basically like, you pushed her out all on your own, blah blah. And it was like a man, because my doctor wasn't there, and I was just like, you didn't get here fast enough. Also, that's not the only pushing you do. So they asked me after, because they're like, okay, like you weren't really on any medication, like do you want to get on a medication to push your placenta out? And I'm like, yeah, fuck, like geez, like should have asked me earlier. I would have asked to be on medication just to fucking period, like give me all that, give me all the good, because I need that. And I was just like, yes please. And she's like, are you sure, like you haven't used it since here, and this is not that bad, like you can do it? And I was like, no, I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing that I can do it. I know I could do it, but I don't want to do it. Okay, give me something. So they put like an IV in my hand. That's what they were planning on giving me anyways, so they ended up doing that because I guess it was on order for me. So they give me that. I push out the placenta, and everything was honest. That noise. And everything was honestly really good after. I didn't have a hard time. I can say like the only like hard time was after giving birth to her, I had like a really mean like lady, because like you get checked on like every hour or every 2 hours, like checking if like you get a hemorrhoid. I don't know what it's called, but they basically check you down there to see if you're good down there for like a natural birth. And they check you and they wipe you, like once you use restroom first, like go pee or anything like that, like a lady is there for you. And the first lady that I had to help me go pee, she was so nice. I told her I was scared and TMI, but I told her I was scared to like kind of like wipe myself. I was like I'm kind of scared. And she's like, okay, like, you know, you can use a rag, you don't have to use like toilet paper. And I was like, okay, like, you know, yeah, I feel more comfortable doing that, like I don't want to use toilet paper. And she's like, okay, yeah, of course. And so I asked the second lady if I can get a rag so I can go restroom and clean myself. And she's like, you're a big girl, you're a big girl. And I was like, you're a big girl, right? I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, this is the vibe I'm getting from these people, this lady here. Oh, okay, I already know what you're here for. And I was like, okay. And that same lady, she had asked me, because I remember telling her like, breastfeeding is really good. Personally, I did it. I would do it here, and like I would pump. I wouldn't breastfeed, I would pump. And when I was breastfeeding, personally, it hurt so bad. And like I felt like I didn't know if Adeline was eating enough. So I was just like, no, I want a bottle. And I wanted a bottle so that Nathaniel could feed her while I'm laying down, you know? So I was exhausted, especially because I had no epidural. I had nothing in me except Tylenol. And I didn't get a full dose of Tylenol, I got a half dose. Anyways, so the lady ends up telling me like, okay, like I'm like, oh, like I don't really feel comfortable breastfeeding, like I feel like I don't know how to do it. And Adeline had jaundice, so I couldn't like get her out, because if I kept getting her, she had like a little blue light on her with like glasses on. She looked all fucking dope. I'm just kidding. But like she was like laying in the like little like UV light, and she was naked. I couldn't have like a blanket on her or anything. So like I would take her out to breastfeed her, but the lady would tell me like, okay, like the more you take her out, the longer she's gonna have to stay here. Like you guys are gonna have to stay here for an extra day, and then it gets to the point where you're not gonna stay here anymore, and you're gonna have to visit her at what is it called? And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I want to take my kid home. Like, no. So they end up telling me like, and so they tell me that, so I'm like, no, like I'm not gonna breastfeed her. And like I have to take her out. What if I just feed her in there? And yeah, I ended up feeding her in there. And I switched to a bottle, and yeah, but like the lady just kind of made me feel like stupid for choosing to switch to a bottle. Kind of like, you're producing milk, why do you want to feed your kid like milk, like not your own milk? That's how she made me feel. And like I kept telling her like, no, I'm not comfortable with that, I'm not comfortable with that, nope, nope, nope. So she was kind of like, okay, whatever, you know, you can't really convince me otherwise. If I'm telling you no, then it's no. And yeah, that was basically like the entire time there. Yeah, so it was kind of depressing because my mom and nobody could visit, so it was just kind of like hard on us. Oh, took off some makeup. So it was just kind of hard, like, you know, it got really boring. Like we had to stay an extra day. It was just like the food there wasn't that good. Like, you know, my mom would drop off like lunch and dinner, but it was just kind of like I didn't feel like I had freedom there. Like I was like, I'm hungry, like I need food in my body, like in my system, like ASAP. And oh, Adeline's up. We also had like, because we were young, we had like a social worker come in and speak to us. Like she just wanted, I think she just wanted to know his age, my age, and like my mom and stuff like that. Like, what's your relationship with your mom? And I'm like, great, I love my mom. Like I was just so I'm just kidding, guys. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope it's a little bit educating and just a little kind of eye-opener that don't be popping that so young, period. But do you guys like my hair? I love it. I can't wait to do a cute little outfit. I'm gonna post on my Instagram, so keep a lookout. So thank you guys for watching.